to another episode of Admit One. This week is episode Niner, and I am Jadon, joined here with my old pal.
Oh, that's recommend. Hi, I'm Tristan. Good evening. Salutations.
And this week's movie is John Wick. There's a man, a suit, a car, a pencil, and last week I asked the age-old question, what would I do for my dog, would I do for my dog what John Wick did for his? And I believe we will see that answered later on this episode.
Man, if he did all that for his dog, I can't imagine what he would do for a Klondike bar.
You know, I have done some pretty shady things, man. The movie was released in 2014. That is 11 years ago from the time of this recording.
Happy birthday,
it was directed by Chad Stahelski was the director. It was written by Derek Kolstad. It stars Keanu Reeves as, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, John Wick. I'm not going to try to pronounce the actor who played the Vigo's name. It's Michael, and then Nyqvist. Alfie Allen as Yosef. And I'm going to save one of the other cast members for later on as we get into this movie.
I know who you're talking about.
Dude, yeah, you do.
Was you expecting
fun
him
fact
at
before
all?
we get into it? Nope, I was not. I willn't, if you would. But according to Keanu Reeves, he did 90% of his own stunts on this film, and I was sitting there questioning it because I was like, that doesn't look like they cut a stunt person in there for a majority of it.
Yeah, man, he did a lot of his own things. I remember watching an interview with him one time, and that was something that they had asked just because of the complexity of some of the stunts, and he was like, yeah, for most of them, I did them myself. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. And that just makes Keanu cooler in my book. My first note literally says, hey, Keanu, because I was just shocked to see the man.
Mine was he has a boo-boo.
I was trying to pull something up and it froze.
Oof.
Literally just took my breath away.
I have that effect on people.
This wasn't what I was trying to look up, but I'll throw this in there. It is an hour and 41 minutes long. The budget is an estimated $20 million. And the opening weekend in U.S. and Canada, October 26, 2014, it got $14,415,922, and grossing worldwide, I'm just going to skip U.S. and Canada, it's $86,085,139 doll hairs.
And 69 cents.
I wrote down that it was one heck of an intro, but right now I can't even remember what the intro is because I was so focused on the rest of the movie. I just watched it all today. Literally just finished it.
He's driving that Suburban or Tahoe or whatever it was. It drives it straight into the loading dock.
Oh, yeah.
And then just like lays on the concrete.
Yeah. I wrote down that he had an absolutely beautiful car. He said, she's not for sale. And I also wrote down that the hype around John Wick, because, like, I've always, this movie was really big when I was in, like, middle school and going into high school. So, like, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was seeing it. I just didn't. So, and it was at the John Wick's in Fortnite. So, John Wick is the Yeah. John Wick is the definition of just, like, I almost compared him to Chuck Norris. I can't do that.
I was about to say he's the modern day Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay, well, we can put him right there just below Chuck Norris.
God, Chuck Norris.
It's just
John Wick.
I wrote down that I was very happy that he got a dog, and I forgot that in the little bit of the plot I read that the dog died. when we were talking about it last episode. And then when they killed the dog, I said, "Not the dog, that poor baby."
Dude, I put that was one of the
But
worst
just
ways
before
to
that,
wake up.
dude, I swear to God, um, I couldn't imagine seeing someone do that to my sweet Ozzy. I would seek vengeance. I would go as far as John Wick.
I mean, yeah, but you also don't have the
I would.
resources that he has.
I do not, but a slingshot, by God, I did
And
David and Goliath. It'll do me.
and a pellet gun that I got from my local Walmart.
By God. Just before that, though, the character that I wasn't wanting to talk about, Willem Dafoe, showed up, and I was not expecting him. I don't know. I just didn't know that Willem Dafoe was in this movie. His acting was great, per usual.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw John Wick, I was like, why is William Dafoe in this movie? And he looks so much younger. And I forgot that the movie is like 11 years old.
10 years. Oh, yep, 11. I want to know how he killed those people with a pencil. I want to see it. I don't know if it shows it in the sequels, but I want to see it.
Well, when Vigos is talking to whatever that guy's name is, it's the guy from the commercials, the Mayhem. I don't know his actual name.
Oh my God!
And is
that him?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah, he's the Vulture in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Shut up.
Okay, fine. Just go ahead and
in
this episode of Admit One.
Thanks
everyone for watching.
But
yeah, dude,
no, that's crazy though.
He's the car insurance guy. The Mayhem like me. But when Vigos was describing it after he punched his son in the stomach, he like mimicked it, and apparently he just like stabbed him in the neck.
I see.
Yeah, he was like, "Eat the pencil," and then he just stabbed him with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
On a side note, because you got me thinking, what is your favorite commercial? Whether it be insurance, whether it be one with a catchy jingle, because I used to spend a lot of time watching commercials on YouTube, and I know that's. I mean, do you know how frustrating it is to get an ad for an ad? Like during an ad, like someone's making money off of you watching ads for another company, and they're not even the ones that made the ads.
So
I actually free credit report.
Yeah, so I actually have YouTube Premium. So, and I don't have cable TV, so I don't really watch many ads. But when I was a kid,
who has cable TV anymore?
Yeah, but I also don't have like anything with commercials, just because I really hate commercials. And I'm not.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this was a commercial, but it was a video on YouTube, and it was a Chinese man talking about Hot Pockets, and he was like, "Hot Pocket," and he would just do like,
"Oh my God!"
Yeah, I have to find a video and send it to you. It was just like the most off the wall stuff. But one that I remember from when I was a kid was probably Honeycomb, and it had like the honeycomb monster, whatever his name was, where it was just like a creature with a really big face, like a hedgehog, I guess.
Oh my God! I'm looking at it now. I've never seen this in my life. This is terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know the name of that character.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Craver.
Yeah.
He's the Craver, and they make a Funko Pop of him.
Do they really? That is awesome. I need it so bad. But yeah, I remember that vividly from when I was a kid.
And he's holding a little honeycomb, dude.
Yep.
It's cute. I like the freecreditreport.com commercials. I have almost every single one of those memorized.
I remember being a kid.
One of them was my ringtone.
Dude, that's what I was about to say. It wasn't my ringtone. But like this guy that I went to school with, I grew up with him, and him and my mom were, or his mom and my mom were friends. and one day she got a text message, and it was like an MP3 file or MP4, whatever it was at the time. I don't really remember. And it was a ringtone, and it was that ringtone, FREE, that spells free. And she had to make that her ringtone because somebody sent it to her through a text message.
There's another one I just had it on the tip of my tongue and I lost it. Get connected for free.
Oh yeah,
with education connection. Dude, those spinning ketchup and mustard bottles on that record platter are forever ingrained in my brain. I mean, the Apple Jacks commercials were classic, dude, but now the Cinnamon Man doesn't even have dreadlocks or a Jamaican accent anymore.
Dude, yeah, he went from being a stoner to just being like an office guy. Here I come, I am Cinnamon. And then you can't,
Here I come, Cinnamon!
And then you can't forget Zoo Pals.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Oh my god, yes. They started making those again, believe it or not.
I know, yeah.
I saw them.
I never can find them. They don't have them at my Walmart. Or if they do, I've just not seen them. But then again, I've also not really sought them. So I guess that's my mistake. That's my cross to bear. They come when you
least expect it. Free credit report commercial really was my number one. I don't know if there's... I'm not trying to keep it on commercial. I'm really passionate about my commercials. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with mesothelioma? You may be entitled to financial compensation. I didn't like that one.
And then you can't forget, like, you'd wake up and what year were you born?
2001.
So you probably won't remember these commercials, but it was like it was for music, and it was like essentially a mixtape. I don't really remember it that well, but like I remember it somewhat, and it was always like for church music, but it was like what was really popular, and I think it was like 2003, 2004, but that was a really popular.
So like the CD commercials?
Yes, and they had one for like country music, and it wasn't like wow hits, but it was whatever it was at the time.
Also, I know we're smack dab in the middle of our movie review / commercial talk, but I realized that before we started filming, we forgot to spin the wheel to announce what our next movie is.
Oh, we're gonna do.
So I've got the wheel pulled up on my phone. I've got it pulled up on my phone right now. And I'm recording on my phone.
Spin that wheel, then, baby.
We're gonna see what it's gonna land on. We're still spinning. And it's stopping.
Anticipation is killing me.
Stopping. The House of 1,000 Corpses.
Oh. A young Rainn Wilson is in that movie. And for those of you that don't know who he is, he plays Dwight Schrute on The Office.
Have you seen this movie?
I've not. But I hear
it's a scary movie?
I don't think it is. I think it's like a cult classic. Yeah, it's a horror / comedy. Oh,
why not?
Why not? It's directed by Rob Zombie.
Yep, I knew that. I don't know who Rob Zombie is, but...
You don't know who Rob Zombie is?
No, who's Rob Zombie? Educate me.
Check out his song Dracula.
So he's a musician.
Yeah. I'm too sleepy to think of the lyrics.
Check out Dreaded Dell. I thought it was funny how everyone knew John Wick. Everybody. He opens the door. Like, I was sure that when the cop opened the door after John was getting back at it after they killed his dog and stole his car, I was sure that the cops were going to be like, oh, well, come on, time to go. And he's like, hey, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, John.
You're back at it?
You working again? He said, you're a good man, John.
Yeah. But
I loved the... Go ahead.
I was going to say, when John was like, It's if I could not cough, that'd be awesome. Take two. But when John said it's John Wicking time, dude, that really sent me.
Shut up. I love the stylized titles. I don't know what the occasions were. They just bring them out randomly.
Yeah,
But when they would bring out those little stylized titles.
Yeah, I've seen that movie probably 5-6 times now, and I still don't know why those are there.
Then when they put the hit on John, because John was going after Joseph, Viggo's son, they asked Willem Dafoe to hold up. What was his character's name? It was Marcus. Marcus, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
They asked Marcus. Yep, it's Marcus, to put a hit or to fulfill the hit for $2 million. And I wrote down in my notes, dude, this is a banger. I've been waiting for this note. I've been waiting for this note. I said, Willem is Dafoe?
Jesus Christ. But the bounty was up to like $3 or $4 million, I believe, because that's why, what's her name? I made a note of it. Miss Perkins. That's why she showed up in the hotel room, was to claim the higher bounty.
Which the only reason that she got that higher bounty was because she was breaking the laws of the hotel and fulfilling that bounty there.
Yep, she was.
Thought it was pretty cool that the director of this movie was Keanu Reeves' stunt double in the Matrix movies. Little connection there. I don't know. This may be the first movie that does not have like a common link. I don't know what this movie has.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it has anything.
The only link I could find was that, and this isn't even a hard link, this was a very soft link. This would snap if anything was pulling on it, but Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Indiana Jones, and The Goonies has said in interviews that he trained for action scenes by watching John Wick style choreography.
I mean, I think that's a pretty solid line.
I don't know. Why was John paying everybody in doubloons?
I don't know, because he had them. I don't think it was ever mentioned.
But why? Like, if there's such a thing as Bitcoin, is that like Hitcoin, for hitmen?
I think because it was.
Dude, that was straight off the dome.
That was beautiful. I think because it was just gold, and that's like a universal currency, so he has it no matter where he ends up in. Because like you end up in like Switzerland, and I mean, $100 American isn't going to carry the same as 20 carats of gold, because it's pretty.
That's fair.
It's worth it's worth money no matter where you go.
I thought it was pretty funny too how when he went into the club where Yusuf was, he had the guard held up at gunpoint, and
he just gave him the night off.
He gave him the night off, and the guard looked at him and said, "Thank you, sir."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, dude.
I've only got 3 notes left after that because I was so focused watching the last 45 minutes of the film. Continue.
I don't have a lot of notes either, but like the vibes were immaculate in that club. They're like people were dying, but people were still partying.
Olivia didn't watch it with me, but she was in the room for like the last 20 minutes, and so one of the songs came on. She said, "Okay, Marilyn Manson." Which, speaking of Olivia and her family, which an extension is my family, I wanted to give a shout out to my mother-in-law for giving me this microphone that I'm using for my birthday. It is a awesome microphone, and I love it so much, and this is the first episode recorded with it. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I love you.
I love it. It sounds so crisp.
When Viggo caught John, I wrote, "Is he going to the gulag?"
I mean, pretty much that's where he went. I don't know what building it was. It looked like a abandoned church or mosque or something like that.
I was gonna say it looked like he brought him back into the church that he just burned.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it may have been because it looked like it was under construction because there was like scaffolding and plastic everywhere.
I don't know. The movie was okay in my opinion. It could have been better. I wouldn't. The cinematography was mid, in my opinion. The color grading and the transitions were shocking and jarring, which I maybe if it was a stylized choice, I understand. But
Yeah, I mean, there's no
um,
real plot to it.
there-
Like, it's just a straight up like action movie. Like something happened at the
no,
beginning.
they're totally
Like something happened at the
totally is a
beginning, and
plot.
yeah, but like if it would have been like an A24 movie, it would have been a lot different, and there'd have been more like in depth, or like not every movie can be as in depth as The Room. Um,
Oh my god. You're
uh,
tearing me apart, Tristan.
but I mean, like, wife died. She gave him the dog. The dog got killed by those people who also stole his vehicle. So he was like seeking them out the entire movie. So I mean, like the plot was there, but it was just nonstop action and people getting shot. Like it was just headshot
Killed
after headshot.
77 people.
That's a lot of people to die. Dude, how awesome is that hotel that he stayed at though? He walks in and he's like, "You still got a doctor on staff?" He's like, "Yeah, but I don't think we can get the blood out of that shirt."
That actor, his name is Lance Reddick, and his name is familiar, but I don't know if like he has 120 credits on IMDb, but I don't know that I recognize him from anything, but I recognize his name.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen him in anything other than John Wick.
And I want to watch the other ones really, but I don't want to. I don't want them to go downhill. It did go downhill.
I've seen 2 and 3 a couple times. I'm not sure if there's a fourth one or not, but they're pretty solid. Dude. They're just as action packed.
Okay.
But it's hard for me to just sit down and watch another movie because I'm wanting to take notes or I'm just kind of picking it apart. And I'm like, well, if I watch this movie, then I can't watch this movie that's actually for the podcast. So this, and in a way, this
Right.
podcast has ruined me. But it's not like I ever actually watched movies prior.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, it's not like you can't watch it just to watch it, and then you can kind of pay like not as much attention if you're rewatching it again later on, especially if it's close. But I understand the feeling. This isn't our breakup announcement, is it?
It's not me. It's you.
Radio silence.
But man, there was so much in that movie that happened just for the end result to be him getting another dog.
I know. I know. I was that was stupid. I
Yeah.
was pretty upset by that. I was like, "What?" He gets sliced up. And first off, he doesn't even kill the guy. He says, "What's he say?" He says, "See you later," or
No,
something like
no,
that.
no. The guy dies.
What?
Yeah, he dies. I'm like 99% sure. Because he just stops moving, and as John Wick is walking away, he's just slouched over and not moving. I mean, he may have fallen asleep.
I didn't. I didn't think he died. I thought I was under the impression he was still alive.
I thought he died because of like how his facial expression changed. Yeah, let's might need to Google to check and see if he died or not.
Yeah. No, he dies. Wow. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. I'm stupid. I was under that. Wow.
No,
Okay.
I just know
I
death.
oh, don't know him too close now.
Yeah, we've
Um,
we've encountered each other a time or two.
Will, you told me about that once. Um, Willem Dafoe ended up being not Dafoe, by the way.
Yeah, he was
Um,
William DeFriend.
um, I don't know if I just like it was good, but like it wasn't like wicked good. It wasn't like everything everywhere all at once good. Like it was good in its own way.
Yeah, yeah. So I give it like a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I've seen it several times,
I was
and it doesn't get better and it doesn't get worse. Like it stays a neutral 7 every single time I've seen it. Like, and I keep saying it's just an action movie. That's all it is. Like it is. It's just there for entertainment and for dudes to watch a grown man shoot other grown men.
I was also going to say 7, but we have rated a lot of movies the same recently, and I don't want everyone to think I'm ripping you off, so I'm going to give it a 7.1.
Well, I mean, the last movie I forced you to give it a 10, so it may not have been the last one. It might have been the one before, but you were going to give it like an
He was
8, and I gaslit you into giving it a
he
10.
drove we actually cut this out of the episode, but he drove all the way up here and held a gun to my head and said, "You're gonna give that episode a 10." That was all I had on my notes. It looks like we are not too far into recording.
No, we're not. But the movie also wasn't very long, and there wasn't a lot of dialogue. It was just a lot of shooting.
Hour 41. Yeah, that's true. I bet Keanu probably said under 200 words in this film. Well,
man, I wouldn't go that far
5.
with it. Yeah, definitely under 5. I'd say about between 3 and 4. But when they met each other there, like on that little catwalk or whatever it was at the end of the movie while it was raining, it looked like they were going to kiss.
It was dramatic.
Yeah.
I wondered how after he killed his son, there was going to be 20 minutes left of the movie.
Dude, he didn't even give him a chance to say anything. He was like, "I told you it was just a pow," and that was it.
In the first John Wick movie, Keanu Reeves reportedly had around 380 total words of dialogue.
Oh, I told you it was between 300 and 400.
That you did. That entire dialogue is less than 3 minutes of talking because the average adult speaks at an average of about 125 to 150 words per minute in conversation.
Do you know that off the top of your head, or was that also written down?
That was looked up on the fly.
Okay. All right. I assumed that the how many words he spoke was, but then you started talking like everything else after that, and I'm like, that wouldn't really surprise me if that was something that you had actually known, though.
No, I don't know that much. But, are we calling it? I know you're tired. I know you gotta work a million-hour shift tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we should do what Keanu did to his dog and just go home.
All right, we're going home. Thank you all for watching episode 9er. I don't know why I went with the 9er twicer on that, but thank you for watching episode 9 of Admit One. Next week is doubled. Breaker 19, got a smoky on my 6 over. Can I get a 10 for?
Thanks for listening. Make sure to give us 5 stars. Tell all your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell your lovers. Tell your haters. This has been the Admit One podcast.
5 stars.
Cue the music.